Okay, I think we're pretty much good to get started. So, definitely the video that came out yesterday, I feel it could have been a lot better. I was happy the way it came out. So, it definitely did take a while. Like, I'm not going to deny it, but it was fun editing it. But, as usual, we're going to move on to the next thing. So, let's rock and roll. Let's get this party started. I just got to do a little bullet points so I actually remember things. This section isn't going to be as advanced as the prologue just because there's not really much going on in Soul Sanctum besides a lot of fluff. There's no major boss encounters or anything. It's just pretty much a reintroduction of what's going on. So we'll work around with what we have. Anyways, let's get this party started. I'll be doing this project like I did before, congruently with my other projects. I already started another lore video outline today, and I will be doing this on the side. So let's rock and roll. As usual, don't drink alcohol unless you're an adult. Okay. How do I want to go about this? Sorry about that. Okay. So this would definitely take out a lot of fluff. The only reason why I did it for the vermin was just because that's the first battle of the entire franchise. It's just to set the pace of how things will be going in the future. I was actually drawing the blank right there. All right, so yeah, we're still going with that. That is the angle, but we're not going to go too like crazy. I do feel um I do feel I kind of went a little bit overboard with the yapping during that video, but I needed to make sure this character had a strong introduction. But they're pretty much going to be in a just a limited capacity this time around. They're gonna be there, but just in just observing the plot. Last thing we have to do. Biggest issue with this was there was nothing I could have did about Earth Force when I did use it as a portal. The sprite sheet is fine, but once it starts animating, the top portion gets cut off, and there's nothing I can do. I could have probably redrew it, but I'm not that cool. God, I'm not that cool. In my eyes are not the same as they were about 10, 15 years ago. Me and my limiting vision. Okay, let's get this outline started. That's just notes for me to actually look at later. Oh yeah. We're good. Now let's party start. Okay, how do I want to go with this timescape? So this is a timescape. Timescape section. Okay. I'm just thinking of where it's One of the biggest issues, I'm going to admit it, one of the biggest issues I ran into when I was doing the other video was RNG manipulation because I I narrated the skip and dubbed it before I actually got the footage, which was my mistake. That was my mistake because that's what I normally do. So when I was at the Minority and Satoru's and Minority fight, they weren't doing exactly what I needed them to do in the script. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh shit, this is actually cooked, and I already dubbed this already, so I don't want to redub this because my voice was fucked when I actually recorded everything. It's better now, so it was gonna sound a lot different if I had to redo it. So RNG manipulation was actually really fucked. Then I found out what was going on. So the Taurus and Minority fight is funny. Depending on what your actions are, they will do the same exact moves over and over and over again, which I didn't even know myself. So if you have Isaac and Garrett both use herbs in the fight, that's your action. Minority will use Death Scythe on Isaac to KO him, and Satoros will immediately follow up with Eruption. If you defend, Minority will attack Isaac, and Satoros will use heat. No, Minority will attack Garrett, and Satoros will use Heat Flash on Isaac. Then they'll just attack to finish the boys off. So the way I did it in my initial dubbing of it, Minority used Mad Blast. Satoros attacked. Then she finished off with Mad Blast again. So the way that works is they have to both be at full health in order for her and Satoros to do that attack phase. I didn't know that, so I had to do some fancy pants manipulation when it comes to like recording stuff. So this time around, I'm not gonna make that mistake. Definitely not, because that was annoying as fuck. We're still gonna keep that the same. Besides that, Garrett and Jenna, we're not gonna mess around with them. Not yet. I think no, he's fair game. Selling pro tag? Huh, got you, fam. So I'm gonna be very cheeky with this. Yes, we are gonna be doing flashbacks in that quote, but I'm not bad at actually doing shit. So I'm gonna do a funny. We'll have certain scenes from the future be played out in grayscale, but I'll be doing custom scenes just to like make things a little bit more interesting. I might work around that sprite a little bit. When I was doing the final checks in the video yesterday, it looked fine. It looked fine. It's just I can tweak it a little bit more to make it look a little bit better. But that's a problem for another day. We'll cross that bridge when we cross that bridge. I do gotta admit that I kind of went a little tiny bit overboard when I was doing dialogue for it. When I was when I was doing the final checks on it, I did the last video review, and I'm like, damn, I really, really, really made this character not like Isaac. Like the Magnificence once said, man, what did you do to make them niggas that mad? Like, holy, like I definitely have to. When I get to that point later on, way, way, way later on, I really gotta come full circle about why this guy hates Isaac that much. But yeah, I definitely did go a little bit overboard. I admit that. When I get into the groove of writing stuff, I really, really do get into the groove. Okay. I'm not gonna do a go for black thing. And we'll just keep it at that. Okay, that should be pretty straightforward with the 3-year time skip. Next we gotta reintroduce characters. So okay. So one thing, obviously I'm doing my own thing right now. There was one thing I just didn't despise. I despised in Golden Sun 2 is the revelation that they were still alive. Because it could have been written a lot better during the reunion sequence. It's like Jenna mentions our parents' lives rely on it. There was no build up to that. There was no build up, no overview, no. You need build up for something like that. You just can't just mention it, especially to Isaac, who still thinks like everybody died that day. They could have been a lot more. It could have been better written, in my honest opinion. Again, I'm not a Japanese writer making video games. I'm just some bloke on the damn internet who should be doing military work, but I have too much free time on my hands and a master's in English. But whatever, I digress. It could have been written a lot better. It's just the wording just never sat right with me. Our parents' lives depend on it, and Isaac's like, what? Then Kraden's like, oh, no one died on that day. I'm like, it had been either that should have been sooner. That should have definitely probably been sooner, and not at that point in the game, and just written a little bit better. Oh well, I've got enough. That's the point of all this. I'm gonna fix things from a narrative perspective. We'll write them as missing, not dead, missing. this should make it a lot better. They're missing. Their bodies were never recovered, so they could be alive. They could be dead. Because the way they were wording it in the game itself, they were just implying that they were dead. Especially since where that waterfall is, yeah, like where the lake, well, the river where Felix was, it drains all the way down to the village square. Oh man, we're not even gonna get there because they get hit by the river. No, we're not doing that game right now. That's just too much what ifs. That's not the point of this. I have to do it. I definitely have to do it. So bear with me real quick because I have to put 5 things together at once. The boulder hit them. Fine, we got that. Felix's house is adjacent to a river. Cool. That river drains all the way down to the village square area. Satoros and Minardi recovered the bodies later on. Fine. But the pathway they took, after they downed Isaac and Garrett, the pathway they took would have brought them to the area of Felix and Jenna's house, but there's no other water source. So I have to word this in a way. You know what? I got this. This is the shit that keeps me up at night. This is definitely the shit that keeps me up. Let me actually bring that up. This is definitely the shit that keeps me up. Just give me a second. This is the type of shit that does keep me up at night. Because now I have to go in the game and actually see where the hell that source goes. Way too far. No, it's not that. Alright, I gotta take off turbo mode. Honestly, this is just for my mental clarity and what the hell that I need to actually write. There's no. Okay, there. Okay. It's a staircase. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Okay, there's Felix. So the boulder hits them. They get swept down. Fine. And this is why I wasn't going to narrate all these fights, just the important ones, because this would take forever. Okay. Satoros and Minardi, after doubting Isengary, go this way. And here's the problem, because okay, that's I get it. I'm looking too deep into it. It's just way too deep into it. All right. So here's the thing. The waterfall. The waterfalls. Yeah, I get it. All right. Not a big deal. I'll work around that. So the waterfall, unfortunately, it doesn't go into the village like I thought it did for years. So the waterfall, the bottom of the waterfall isn't rendered into there's no like rendering at all for what's at the bottom of it. So assuming it just drains outside of Vale, which makes a little bit more sense. So I'll word it that way. I'm gonna go insane if I actually ignore that. But again, this is the type of shit that keeps me up at night. There we go. I heard on my end because I always thought that waterfall went down to the village square, which was that's just me and my whole little childhood shenanigans. But yeah, so that waterfall just there's no area to actually see where the hell it actually leads to. So we're assuming that it just goes to the outside of Vale, which is fine, which lines up with the fact that they were found by Satoris and Minardi as they were leaving Vale. It's just I mean it is what it is. So I'm gonna word it in a way this is the best way we can actually word this. All right. This isn't Dark Dawn, so I can leave Cradle alone. But if I was doing a Dark Dawn video, oh man, I would tear this old man apart. There's a lot of stuff that happened in Dark Dawn that could have been avoided if he actually would have spoken up. And again, the way I made it seem in the other video was I had to make a huge impact introducing that character because that character is going to play a key role in the future. But we can make the present's going to be intense, but it's going to be subtle. Like he's not going to be there a lot. You'll notice, but nothing too crazy and egregious. Where we don't want to overstay its welcome. Okay, so um, a lot of the fluff leading up to Soul Sanctum, I'm actually gonna just not do. Soul Sanctum is as straightforward can be. There's gonna be a lot of progression. Get to the elemental stars, solve the puzzle, get to the elemental stars, and that happens. Felix returns, Satori's minority returns, etc., etc., etc. So we can get rid of a lot of the fluff leading up into there. Like we don't need to go that like intense to Soul Sanctum. It's an in and out. It should be an in and out experience. And this is one of my biggest things I'm gonna try to fix. Like the sense of urgency is like missing after Mercury Lighthouse. Like it's not. It's non-existent. Like this, to be honest, like this should be like a tense situation. Hostages are taken. The antagonists are trying to unleash a power that may destroy the world. You're trying to stop them while saving the hostages. The sense of urgency is it's there, goes away for a while, then comes back, then goes away. Game ends on bitter note. I'm gonna make it in a way that the sense of urgency is always there. This is why I kind of had to introduce this other character. I made it a little bit too edgy for my liking, but I had fun doing it. Oh fuck. Oops. We're really playing this game, aren't we, Word? Don't you love it when Word just does not? Don't you love when Word just does not want to cooperate? I love it. Me and Word have this very like intimate relationship together. a little fluff there. It's cooking right now, so don't mind me. We're just cooking. This is how you know I played this damn game too damn much. I can just rant this for days. And this is here's my here's my issue with this. It's not a big issue. It's just me nitpicking because I do that a lot. What does Felix revealing himself urge Isaac and Garrett to grab the stars? I know he can't do anything at all to Satoru's minority, but the way it made it seem like, yeah, go get the elemental stars or else we'll, and I quote, harm these two. Felix is not gonna let you harm his sister. He can't do anything because he'll just get killed himself. But it's a very shitty bargaining chip that it is. It's a very funny gambit. Satoru likes playing gambits. He really does like doing gambits. So I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that in a way because Felix, again, he doesn't want to see any harm come to his sister, which he kind of lashed out a minority for pushing her later on. But okay. So I have to word this in a specific way, just because, again, like I mentioned earlier, it's a shitty bargaining chip because Isaac and Garrett don't need it behooves them to bring them the elemental stars, of course, but using Jenna and Kraden as a scapegoat for your plan makes no fucking sense because sure, you can literally just kill you two can definitely kill everybody in the room, of course. But it's not like you won't meet any resistance from Felix because Felix is not gonna let his sister get killed. He can't do anything about it, but it's a it's a funny gambit that Satoru is trying to pull here. And it works, because you still at the end of the day gather it. So I'm thinking right now because I might have to sleep on this because right now the way I can do this is I won't introduce Alex right now. I feel Alex as a character didn't get fleshed out enough in the games. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna sleep on that. Hmm. Give me a minute to think. So, what I'm thinking is, we'll carry on as things go normally, with our mysterious figure lingering in the background, of course. I'm not going to introduce Alex right here. I'm going to build up Alex later on when I get towards Mercury Lighthouse. Because, again, I feel Alex in all three games was not handled well at all, especially in Dark Dawn, because if you really want to be cute about it, he's technically the big bad. It's just he's a shitty big bad who could have been a better villain. He felt like an underling in this game. Then out of nowhere, he was introduced as everything was part of my plans the entire time at the end of TLA. Then 3 comes out, and I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? So I'm gonna sleep on it. I'll jot down some notes tomorrow. and we can go from there. But for now, we won't be introducing Alex right now at all. We'll skip it. We'll do a proper introduction via Mia later on. She'll give us the monologue, her duties, her duties, Alex's duties, etc., etc., etc. We can have that dialogue. We can do a very extensive dialogue sequence in Mercury Lighthouse because I have the assets. The assets are there, so she can. I can just have it in a way that she pulls Isaac aside, and both her and Isaac can actually discuss something because this is a big thing. I've mentioned this before. There is no. All right, sorry for yapping. I'm not supposed to be yapping during these streams, but I feel character build-up, character relationships, they were lacking in this game, especially with Isaac's party, because we know Isaac and Garrett are friends. Isaac doesn't interact with Ivan at all. He doesn't interact with me at all. This is the problem with having silent protagonists. You don't get to see the interactions, the friendship with your party members. The only thing we know is Isaac is friends with Garrett, Jenna, Felix. They're friends. All the other people, they're just fluff. And the Lost Days, sure, Isaac isn't the silent protag no more, but he never ever talks to. He doesn't talk to Ivan. Doesn't talk to Mia at all. The only thing he says to Ivan is, "Ivan, keep it together," before he gets hit by a rising dragon. And he doesn't even have any dialogue with Mia, so you don't see the relationship there at all. So what I'm gonna do is, part of the reason why I'm doing this, besides fun, mind you, is we're gonna have interactions between these guys, like actual build up. Because right now, I joke around when I say I joke around to people when I say, "Hey, Mia she was just there just to be there. She had nothing to do with the story." Ivan at least had plot significance because of the shaman's rod and cannot remember her name. His sister later on. It's like, but characters like Sheba, Mia, God, y'all just wasted potential, especially Sheba. They just forgot about you. So we'll be doing character. We won't be doing like weird ass dating sim shenanigans. We'll actually have them getting into full blown conversations with each other. That's the only way I feel we can actually build relationships, because as of now, like, there is no relationships between anybody besides Isaac, Garrett, and Felix as childhood friends. But anyways, I've yapped. Isaac, we'll skip introducing Alex for now. We won't introduce him, and we'll save him for later towards Mercury Lighthouse. That's the best way I can actually do it, because he actually needs significance, and he was missing significance for a lot. He was just shoehorned into the villain role. Okay. You're not spoke for shit right now. I'm sorry. Okay, that's fine. So I have to actually get ready for the multiverse annual thing. As people know, there's a funny relationship with Isaac and the Mars Star that people forget. What I'm gonna do, because he had it from the beginning to the end. What I can do is, I'll think about that later. Yeah, I'll think about what's right. But for now, for my purposes, introduce connection there. It's just Camelot just didn't do much. Okay. So what I can do is not introduced here. After Mia joins the party at Mercury Lighthouse, she'll pull Isaac aside, asking to speak with him privately. They'll they'll she'll discuss things with him in regards to who possibly could be behind Mercury Lighthouse being opened up, because you can only be a water adept in order to gain access to Mercury Lighthouse. You need fly to get in. So right now, there's only a couple people left in her clan besides herself and Alex, which are probably just the rest left. So the only person that could possibly enter it is Alex. So her and Isaac can go into extensive dialogue and world building right there for Alex. That'll be great. That'll be perfect, because the way Alex gets introduced here, you're just a minion. And you're just a minion until Champa, literally the second game. That's when you stop being a minion. Then you still play the minion role. Then you disappear. Then you're trying to get the golden sun. So there is a lot of fixing I need to do with him. Okay. Okay. It's fine. Looks easy to kill me. My eyes are starting to hurt already. As usual.
You triggered my trap card!
Of course. We'll touch upon that later. Oh, damn. All right. What time is it right now? Jesus Christ. I've been yapping for too damn long. Okay. So that should end the Soul Sanctum sequence. So, again, I'm gonna sleep on this. We're not gonna do the script writing just yet. I really need to sit down with this outline. Like, this is just a rough outline, but there's a lot of things that I have to fix, especially in regards to character introductions. So again, this is gonna be straightforward, just because there's no major encounters that I actually have to do and animate and be at the mercy of Miss RNG. But there's a lot of fixes that I actually have to do in order to fix things. And the plot hole, the gigantic plot hole, I let this too. But besides that good shit, I'll be on this again tomorrow, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully everybody is in good health, and I'll see everybody next time. Be out. Take care.